I'm going to teach you something today that is going to change the way that you see other people walk and is going to change your own experience of walking. And that is to understand the mechanics of the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor is the diamond of muscle between your pubic bone, your tailbone, and your two sits bones. Now in this picture, there's a lot more muscles part of the pelvic floor. This is just one layer of muscles, but it's a visual so that you can understand, you can visualize this diamond of muscle at the base of your pelvis. How this diamond of muscle moves while you walk determines how the rest of your body moves while you walk. So your pelvic floor is a blueprint for your movement. So I'm going to give you two really extreme examples to understand this, and then I'll give you some more normal examples. The first one is, think of an old person who doesn't have any strength in their pelvic floor, right? They sit all day, they're not doing anything to strengthen their pelvic floor, and there's absolutely no support there. So because of that, this is how you often see old people move. Imagine I have a walker, and you see they're walking like this, where their entire body is gripping. Their entire body is gripping because there's no support in the pelvic floor. And this is what happens, is that when there isn't support in the pelvic floor, we have to hold in other parts of our body. Now, the opposite of that is, I'm going back to when I was in the Chinese, the dance company, and I did Chinese opera walks. With Chinese opera walks, the key is that you don't want your upper body to move at all. So you want it to look like you're floating and your upper body doesn't move. So I was really good at this because my upper body was so still. And I could walk and there was no movement. Whereas a lot of people in the dance company, like when they're first learning these walks, they're moving their upper body as they walk. It's hard for them to isolate all the movement to happen in their pelvic floor so that the rest of their body can relax. So yeah, I was really good at those. And what I would think about was that all the motion was happening in my pelvic floor. And because the motion was happening in my pelvic floor, the rest of my body could relax. So other examples, if you see somebody walking like this, then you can tell that one side of their pelvic floor is tighter than the other. Or the front part of someone's pelvic floor is tight, they might kind of walk like this, where the motion is happening more in the back of their pelvic floor. Or if the back of their pelvic floor is tight, they might walk more like this. Oh, there's so many examples.